Are you ready?
Hey peeps, how's it going? This video was suggested by Pistons Post on Twitter, so thank you for the idea. But before we hop into it, I want to thank everyone who came out last night for Above the Rim. We had a great show. And this Wednesday, for my Pistons fans, I will be at LCA for the Dallas Mavericks game, so check me out there. But today we're talking Detroit Lions. And like I said, this was suggested to me by Pistons Post. How about that? Pistons fan / Twitter account giving suggestions for Lions videos. I have officially bought in on the Lions. You know, after that Kansas City game, they have to keep that same energy. And if they do, this can happen. Now, originally, before the season started, I had this team going 10-6. And then after the Arizona game, I thought that they would just be 9-7. This, after going through, it's got some question marks because there are some big games coming up. So a lot of these can go either way, but after this, I think the Lions should run away with the NFC North. So let's just take it by game. I'll talk about each individual game, what I want to see from the Lions. And as of right now, I'm counting the Lions healthy after this bye week. So we will see how injuries could play a factor. Now, final goal should be 10+. So we will see. But like I said, let's break it down. Comment down below your final predictions for the season. If you got them winning a playoff game, you have them making the playoffs, I'm sure we'll be all over the place. But without further ado, let's start with the next game at Green Bay. Now, Green Bay just beat the Cowboys. However, I feel like they shouldn't have. If Dallas had a better quarterback, or at least better quarterback play than what Dak did, the Cowboys win that game. You know, Green Bay had a comfortable lead yet again, and they let it slip away. You know, they got very lucky. So, if anything, because Dallas does have a good defense, I'm expecting Green Bay to get off to a hot start. It seems like they're always get up by 2 possessions. That might be the game we have a comeback. However, your goal should not your goal shouldn't let be Green Bay score. That was a weird way to word that. Why did I say? I sounded really slow saying that. Do not let Green Bay get off to a hot start because they have done that, the last several weeks here. Now, they have let the lead slip away, but your goal should be to step on the throat from the get-go. Hopefully, Mike Daniels plays that game, and hopefully we stop a mud hole and walk it dry because we should win that game. So I have the Lions winning. So there's one win. Then after that, we'd come back home and play the Vikings. And the Vikings are a hot mess right now. Now, granted, they did just beat the Giants, but it's the Giants, man. They're not ready to compete yet. They're rebuilding. Plus, they did not have Saquon. So you got to take that into consideration. The whole thing with Kirk Cousins being the quarterback and all the drama that's following up right now, it's getting to him. Now, Adam Thielen's coming off a huge game. I'm not sure who the Vikings got to play before we play them, but we should win this game. It's going to be a big division game. Kirk Cousins is not going to show up. Take Cook out of the game. You're going to put Slay on Thielen, and that should be that. Diggs may or may not be there by that point. We don't know with the whole situation going on right now. So just stack the box, put 7-8 guys in there, take Cook out of the game, and put Slay on Thielen, and you should be good, and you should win that game. I'm not saying it's going to be that easy or a blowout. It should be a hard-fought game. I do not expect any of these NFC games in our division, NFC North games, to be a blowout. They should all be hard-fought games, but again, I'm going with the Lions there. Then after that, we have the Giants. I mean, it's going to depend on if Saquon's there or not, and if he is, you just got to stack the box like you're going to against Cook and take him out of the game. Easier said than done because the guy is a beast, but if he does play, he probably won't be 100%. And then I think Jones is just inconsistent. I think he's going to be an interception machine. So the only thing that worries me is, we haven't necessarily done well against rookie quarterbacks, which is a problem to me. So you can't let off the gas in this game either. You got to come out there with full force and stop a mud hole. But the Lions should get the W. So there's 3 straight W's. And then you have the Oakland Raiders, who just beat the Chicago Bears in London. And this team is really iffy with me. The Lions should win this game, but after what they did to Chicago, I'm not too sure if that was just how bad Chicago played or how good Oakland did. Because Oakland did get off to a 17-0 start. Not Green Bay, but the Bears came back, scored 21 straight. And then Oakland scored a touchdown, and that was pretty much the game. So I am going with the Lions on this one because, I just think the Raiders are inconsistent. And it's in Detroit. It's going to be loud. They got Derek Carr, dude. Like, you're not going to win that many games with Derek Carr. He's not that good. However, after that, we play in Chicago. This would probably be one of the toughest games outside the Kansas City game that we're going to have to play. Trubisky should be coming back right around that point if he hasn't already. Chicago's defense is one of the best in the league. So going into Chicago and winning, not going to be easy at all. This is going to be a dogfight. This is really going to determine how much these teams want to win and really put them in reality checks of, where they want to be, and how much more work they have to do to get to those goals. It's going to be a very entertaining game, and I cannot wait. It should be more entertaining than the Green Bay or the Vikings game. I'm going with Chicago on this one. We've won, 4 in a row? You can't be too mad about that. We can't win all of them, okay? Playing in Chicago, outside, it's going to start getting colder around this point. Their defense is tough. They're going to be at home. I'm going with Chicago on that one. So there's our first loss so far. We come back home and play the Cowboys. You take Ezekiel Elliott out of the game and make Dak try to beat you. You got a good shot of winning. This guy makes a lot of mistakes when all the pressure's on him. It's going to be right around that time where playoff is starting to get talked about more and more. I think that the Eagles have a good shot of winning their division too. So they need to win this game. So they're going to try to come into Detroit and win. You're not, that's kind of a dumb way to say it. You're not going to come in here and try to lose. But take Ezekiel Elliott out of the game, stack the box. That seems to be a common thread here. And make Dak Prescott beat you. And if he does, you tip your hat to him and say, thank you very much for coming in here. But more than likely than not, against this secondary, he's going to have a hard time because once again, you're going to put Big Play Slay on his main target and take him out of the game. And then Coleman will be on the other side taking care of business. We can take away their weapons. And it's not like their defense is like outstanding where they're going to hold us scoreless. No. We got too many weapons. See, the thing about us is if you shut the run game down, Stafford's going to tear you apart because he's a real quarterback. You take the passing game out, and well, guess what? Kerryon Johnson's for real. He'll run down your throat. So it's going to be another close game. And I think the refs are going to be super bad in this game and try to keep the Cowgirls into it. So there might be a call late that would give the Cowboys the win. But the Lions are more talented. The Lions should win this game. We are winning a bunch of them. And then we go to Washington and play the Redskins, who just fired their coach, who was smoking of the Mary Jane and partying. Yeah, they're just a mess. This should be a blowout. The Lions should take care of business and walk it dry. Chicago comes into town. It'll be a revenge game for the Lions, who should play yet again another hard-fought game. I believe this is the Thanksgiving game. I don't have the date down. But again, it could be another dogfight. Trubisky should be back definitely by this point. And that will help us out because he's not a good quarterback. So the Lions should get a revenge game and go ahead and take care of business on this one and win it. And then we go into Minnesota and play Minnesota. Revenge game for the Vikings. The Vikings should win that one. Minnesota is a very, very tough place to play. Their crowd is loud. It's just at this point, how far is Minnesota out of the division race? Because I don't think they're going to be in it all that much longer with all the drama they got going. Kirk Cousins may or may not be the quarterback there. Either way, they should win it. But we come home and play the Bucs. Again, that should be a win. The Bucs are rebuilding. I like Bruce Arians. He's going to turn that team around in no time. But for right now, not yet. We should take care of business there. And then this one's a tough one because we have to go into Denver and play. And guess what? It's going to be snowy. It's going to be cold. I think I originally had this as a W. I am going to go ahead and turn that into an L. But this is why it's so hard for me, because they're talking about blowing it up and trading Von Miller away. If they trade Von Miller away and blow it up, then we're going to win. If they keep them, we are going to lose playing outside in the snow in the Mile High place. It's just a tough environment to play. So it's going to depend on that. So for right now, until they trade everybody away, which with my luck will be tomorrow, so this video will be very outdated by that point in time, I'm going to go ahead and give the Lions an L. So in the season now, at home versus Green Bay, it's going to probably be a must win for both teams if they want to stay in it, either to make the wild card or win the division if Green Bay can stay in it that long. So this is going to be a must win for both teams, and it feels like it's a must win for both teams next week. So that being said, I had the Lions winning. They cannot lose to the Green Bay at home. They have to win this game. Unless they're so far ahead of everybody in the NFC North that they're giving Stafford rest or whatever, the Lions should win this game. So to wrap it up, because I've been rambling on for 11 minutes or so, I had the Lions finishing out at 11-4-1, which is very impressive to me. I cannot remember the last time the Lions had this much potential to win 11-plus games, 12 if Denver blows it up. So that would be very, very impressive. This team has sold me, bought me in, or whatever you want to word it. I'm sold on this team. You know, this team is very legit now. They're very tough, and they do not have a weakness. And every time it seems like they have a weakness, next week they fix it. So the rest of the NFC is in trouble, not just the North. Because if we get a home playoff game, it would be the first playoff game in Detroit since the 90s, since Barry Sanders. You can bet your bottom dollar you're not going to hear a crowd like that. I might have to go if we have a home playoff game. You know what? I will go, because I do not want to miss that environment. I know tickets are going to be very hard to come by, but I will find a way to go if we do it. So leave your final predictions down in the comments. DSA Roundtable out today. I believe it's on either Luke G or Micro Mike's channel. I do not know, but check that out. Instagram, Twitter, and all DSA members in the description. Without further ado, I'll see you guys at Little Caesars Arena tomorrow. Peace.